Hello. Okay. So good evening, friends. We're going to start today's session. We're going to learn the Bufo Rana from Boric's Materia Medica. Alan has not mentioned about Bufo Rana. So we have to learn it from the Boric's Materia Medica. There are many cases in my practice successfully treated with Bufo Rana. A wonderful remedy specifically whenever the affections are of nervous system, the female genital system. It is a wonderful remedy specific having actions on glands also. Before going to the Boric's Materia Medica, I will going to share one case, interesting case. It was, we used to do homeopathic camps since 2003 to 2020 till the COVID period. It was monthly camp and we used to go to the remote places. Every month, last Sunday was dedicated for that. And we used to get many cases. This case was from that camp. A 7 years female child brought to me a case of dwarfism with epilepsy. And since birth, the epilepsy was there. There was a history that there was a delayed cry after the birth. She got developed an epileptic attack thereafter, and it remained throughout. She was nearly about on 3, 4 anti-epileptics, and she still, in a month, at least 7, 8 times she used to get an epileptic attack. So that was interesting. 3, 4 anti-epileptics and not getting controlled with the remedies, allopathic remedy. Important thing was that she was imbecile child, not having any grit, never looking up. That is a typical shyness or what you can say feeble-minded child. Even you ask with her name, she never looks towards you, and she was in her own world. She never gets mixed with others. She used to remain alone and along with the mother. That's all. Nothing more than that. In between, she was not able to speak properly. She used to use very few words, but not sentences. And whatever the words she used to use, it was with a big sound, as if howling, as if screaming. She used to use the words. She was very restless in that camp area. She was very restless, going here and there and there and but never looking to anyone. She was with herself and she was behaving like very small child. That was her appearance. Very restless. There was something, someone have put an horn and she has made this like this. I asked, what's the wrong with her? Her mother told, sir, she cannot tolerate noise any form. Even crackers during Deepavali festivals, it is not possible to, we have to keep her alone in inside room, but still she gets disturbed because of that. Even you cannot start your radios or television, music, not at all. She never likes that. That was interesting in her case. And she was not able to walk properly. She started, there was a delayed walk. She started walking when she was 4 years old. And she was not walking properly. It was like that. This is little bit staggering. There was a history of boils when she was 3 to 4 years old, but this epilepsy is prior to it. So this boil doesn't have that it is because of suppression. So no question of suppression. Epilepsy was prior and thereafter the boils were there. So what's the important thing? In the case dwarfism, whenever is associated with the epilepsy, I used to think about this remedy first. Few important highlighting points were epileptic attacks only during night, very occasionally daytime. One more thing she has explained that she likes to go out Whenever we say yes, we'll go out. And she get excited. Whenever she gets excited, many times she gets the epileptic attack. That was another characteristic of Bufo. She was restless. She remains alone. She never gets mixed. Total loss of confidence, walk, staggering walk. So many things used to explain about the Bufo. So I have started her on Bufo. That in her case, I have started with Bufo LM1 directly. And after starting Bufo every month, she has continued treatment nearly for 5-6 years continuously. And after starting Bufo, her convulsions got controlled. She used to get convulsions even with 3-4 anticonvulsive tablets, even though she used to get the 5 to 6 attacks per month. But when we have started Bufo, she never had a single attack in a month. Her mother was very happy. So we have started reducing the anticonvulsant gradually. Out of 3-4 tablets were there, one tablet half I have reduced next month. Then again, next month I have observed she never had an attack again, the convulsions. So we have reduced another anticonvulsant half. It took nearly 1 year to stop her anticonvulsant. And during this period of 1 year, she got one of the attack of one of the attack of epilepsy only at night. And I have finished Bufo right from LM1 to LM30. And she has continued consecutively the treatment. And she recovered so nicely that without any anticonvulsant, she never had an attack of epilepsy. She started developing thereafter because anticonvulsants, whenever you use, it produces a dull state inside the mind. Little bit mischievous activities develop. The person shrieks because of that. A misbehavior develops generally because of anticonvulsant. So when anticonvulsants were stopped, she started developing. She started speaking properly. If you ask her anything, she used to answer in a full sentences. That was not there. Her behavior was changed. Earlier, it was difficult to admit her in school. But because of our treatment, she was admitted in the school. And thereafter, full development had happened. Even today, she used to come to me at Sangamner. We have stopped the camps in COVID, but still she used to visit me at Sangamner. And she has now nearly about 14 years of age and well developed. Her menses started and menses were regular. All those things are very typical, which are developed thereafter. So it was an interesting case to be learned, and we can learn many things. Dwarfism with epilepsy, with epileptic attacks at night, aggravated by excitement, cannot tolerate noise in any form, cannot tolerate the music. All those things are very characteristic of this remedy. So we're going to learn the Bufo from the Boric's Materia Medica. Open your Boric's Materia Medica, page number 135. Bufo, the poison of toad, acts on the nervous system and skin. See, post action, nervous system and skin, two important sites of action. Uterine symptoms are very marked. Third important organ. Lymphangitis of septic origin. This is the remedy for milk leg, elephantiasis. Symptoms of paralysis agitans. Striking rheumatic symptoms. So this is the remedy which is a deep acting remedy. Boric's Materia Medica, the remedy relationship Bufo is not mentioned, but if you will go with the P. Shankaran's book of remedy relationship, Bufo is added over there. He has given two complementaries to the Bufo. One is salamandrum and second is calcarea carb. Then he has written over there the 4 antidotes to the remedy. Boric has mentioned only 2 antidotes, the 2 more he has mentioned over there. But duration of action is not mentioned over there. But my suggestion is that this is a deep acting remedy. Only thing, if you want to give it an LM, you can repeat it in centesimal. you should not. It is very defecting remedy. Striking rheumatic symptoms arouses the lowest passions, causes a desire for intoxicating drink, and produces impotence. So there is craving for intoxicating drinks, and it produces impotence. That is, it has a very specific action on sexual sphere, this remedy. There is dwarfism, there is impotence. At the same time, there is a masturbation tendency. And there is one sentence which is very characteristic, or one symptom which is very characteristic: masturbation tendency for desire solitude to do for masturbation. Very typical symptom which has been mentioned by Boric over here, and even very nicely elaborated by Dr. Rajan Shankar in his Soul of Remedy. Of use in feeble-minded children. These are children who don't have their own mental grit, confidence. They are feeble-minded. They are prematurely senile. Word is very important. Prematurely senile. Epileptic symptoms. Convulsive seizures occurs during sleep at night. So there are convulsions, specifically happens to be at night. More or less connected with the derangements of the sexual sphere, seems to come within the range of this remedy. Very specific action on sexual sphere. Injuries to the fingers, pains runs in the sticks up the arms. It is also a remedy for panaritium. The nail bed infections, or at the tip of finger there is infection, and the whole pain transmits to the whole upper extremity, like LMCPA. Mind is anxious about health, sad and restless, propensity to bite. That is another feature which I have observed in children: biting. These are children who used to bite. Don't know why, but it is like belladonna. Biting is there. Howling means they very loudly talks, or very loudly makes a sound. That is impatient. Cannot, don't have patience. Nervous means on tip of nerves, sensitive. Imbecile who cannot decide. Imbecile, manodaurbulya, don't have a mental confidence. Desire for solitude, feeble-minded. Solitude desire for specifically for masturbation. That is another feature which you can get in this remedy. Head sensation as if hot vapor rose up to the top of head. Sensation as if hot vapors goes to the top of the head. That was feature like lachesis. Numbness of brain, face bath in sweat, epistaxis with flushed face, and pain in forehead better by nosebleed. So there is congestion to the brain, and it is better by epistaxis. Eyes cannot bear the sight of brilliant objects, sensitive at the level of eyes and ears, cannot light bright, brilliant objects. Little blisters form an eye, form on eye. Ears music is unbearable like ambragresia. And this is given in italics and it has meaning. Yes, definitely patient tells this. Every little noise distresses. Heart feels too large. Palpitation, there is palpitation. Constriction about the heart. Sensation of heart is swimming in the water. That is a typical sensation. I have not seen that sensation till in patients. Female menses are too early and copious. Clots and bloody discharge at other times. Watery leukorrhea. Excitement with epileptic attacks. This is the feature underlying. Epileptic attacks are developed because of excitement. Epilepsy at the time of menses, that is another keynote of the convulsions. Indurations of mammary gland, it has very specific role on mammary gland and cancers of mammary. Palliative in cancer of mammary. Burning in ovaries and uterus. Ovaries as well as uterus, there is severe burning. Ulceration of the cervix. Offensive bloody discharge. Pains run into the legs. Bloody milk. That is very important. I have seen one case of cancer where there is milk secreted was or coming out from it was bloody. Milk leg. Milk leg is nothing but lymphangitis, elephantiasis. Veins swollen. tumors and polypi of the womb. So very important role. There are fibroids in the uterus. There is the polyp in the uterus. This is a wonderful remedy to be think of. So miasm, if you take into consideration, it is psychosyphilitic miasm which is common in this remedy. Male involuntary emissions with impotence. Discharge too quick, spasms during coition. Buboes. Bubo is nothing but the pus formation in the lymph nodes, specifically inguinal lymph nodes. Bubo is the state which generally happens to be there in syphilis. So this remedy has both aspects, the psychotic as well as syphilitic aspects. Disposition to handle the organs, that is very typical with the Bubo, like hyoscyamus, like Ginkgum metallicum. This is very close to the both remedies. Ginkgum having a nervous system action, hyoscyamus having a nervous system action. This is one more remedy where you get the nervous system action. And out of this nervous hyoscyamus and the Bufo, this is very typical the sexual excitement and disposition to handle the organ. Effects of onanism. Onanism means there is a continuous thinking about the sexual sphere, sexual onanist, and big bad effects of it happens to be there. Extremities, pains in loins, numbness of limbs, cramps, staggering gait. Underline this. This is very important. Gait is not normal. It is staggering. Adkarti. They are not properly. They are not able to walk properly. Feeling as if peg were driven into the joint. Peg म्हणजे it is a nail or upon in Marathi we call khunti, खीळ. It is a something which has been pushed in the joint like a nail. That is a peg. Feeling as if peg were driven to joint swelling of the bones. So this is the remedy which is having action on the nervous system at the same time the rheumatic system. This remedy plays a very important role. And most important are the skin symptoms. Panaritium. Panaritium is nothing but the nail bed infections, and that nail bed infections associated with severe pain. Pain runs up the arms, like similar symptom you get in epilepsy. Patches of the skin, loose sensation, pustule suppuration from every slight injury that was there in that specific case. Boils appeared to that girl later in her life, which was again before indicating. This is a very important remedy for pemphigus. Pemphigus is the vesicular-bullous condition where there are big blisters. It is the only condition where emergency can happen. It can lead to a shock condition also. And generally, allopathic line of treatment, there is only treatment is steroids. And because of long continued use of steroids, these people depend or becomes dependent upon steroids. They are very difficult to treat. There are many remedies in our Materia Medica for pemphigus. But these people, generally what happens, these are the people who are steroid dependent. It takes a long time to stop their steroids. You cannot stop it all of a sudden. It gets aggravated. If you want to treat a pemphigus, my suggestion is that ask the patient at least they should get treatment for 2-3 years. Then it is possible. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Pemphigus, the ranunculus bulbosus is very important remedy. The rhododendron, you get the pemphigus. In brush stalks, you get the pemphigus. Because this very vesicular or bullous eruptions are there. I have told you what is vesicle and what is bullous. A papule which contains fluid is called as vesicle, which is less than 1 centimeter in diameter. If an same eruption is more than 1 centimeter in diameter, it is called as a bullae or bullous eruption. Bullae which open and leave raw surface exuding an ichorous fluid. So fluid which is comes out from the bullous eruptions is typical ichorous, rough, acrid discharge, blisters on palms and soles, itching and burning, and there is a carbuncle. It is a hard boil which happens to be there. So this is remedy having very specific action on the skin where you get the panaritium, where you get the pemphigus, where you get the these carbuncles, you get the recurrent boils. This is a wonderful remedy having very specific action on the skin also. Relationship, compare the Barataka, very close to Barata, but Barata doesn't have that much strong action on nervous system or epilepsy associated with that. Asteria rubens for the cancer of breast. But in Asteria, it is even in ulcerative stage of cancer, Asteria is the wonderful remedy. This remedy is mentioned by Boric as a palliative in breast cancer. Salamandrum is for the epilepsy and softening of brain. This is the remedy which he tells that this is a complementary for that. Antidotes. Boric has mentioned only two remedies, lachesis and senega. You can get cubeba and opium. These are two more remedies which are there as an antidote to this remedy. Mentioned by Dr. P. Shankaran sir. Complementary, you get a salamandra. If you read the Boger skin synoptic key, he has mentioned calcarea carb, and even in Shankaran sir's remedy relationship, you can get that calcarea carb as a complementary to the Bufo Rana. This remedy relationship, my suggestion is that you must know it, because if you treat with the Bufo and patient settled, if you want to complete the cure, calcarea is the deep acting remedy which covers the whole sphere of the case later. So you must know that calcarea is complementary to the Bufo Rana. Modalities worse in warm room on awakening, better from bathing with or cold water, from putting the feet in hot water. So better from putting the feet in hot water or bathing or cold air. These are the common modalities. Dose, he has mentioned 6 potency and higher. I have used both varieties. I have used the centesimal right from 32 cm also in certain cases earlier. And nowadays I am using more commonly the remedy, specifically in LM. If the epilepsy or pathologies are there or CA breast is there, I used to use the LM more commonly. So this is a wonderful remedy to be utilized in nervous system disorders, female genital problems, skin problems, even in male genital system. It has very specific action. In rheumatism, it has very specific action. So one should not forget the Bufo Rana, a wonderful remedy. Keep few hints in your mind. Dwarfism associated with epilepsy, masturbation tendency for desire solitude for that, feeble-minded children doesn't have any confidence at all. So these are very important things in skin, vesiculobulous eruptions like pemphigus, like panaretium, boils. Then this is a very important remedy in all skin issues like carbuncles, etc. So this remedy one should not forget in your day-to-day practice. And many times we miss this when we think of Barata more commonly. But more than Barata, Bufo is also useful when nervous system affections are more strong. So that's all for today. We'll meet tomorrow. Most probably we can meet in this session, but not in evening session tomorrow. I will let you know whether lecture is there or not tomorrow. If it is not there, day after tomorrow we'll definitely meet. So that's all for today. If any query is there, we can discuss. Otherwise, we'll conclude. So thanks a
Sir,
lot.
I have one question.
Yes,
Hello.
yes,
Has
Sushant.
there multiple lipoma all over body here? So a patient have multiple lipoma all over body. Can we treat with constitutional medicine, sir?
Only constitutional medicine, no specific remedy. Only constitutional remedy, you have to treat it for longer
Okay, sir.
time of duration. The disease is constitutional, treatment is constitutional.
अच्छा.
Hmm. Yeah, and tell the patient that he has to
Okay,
take
तरी
the
पण sir 5-6 महिने
no, not at least for 2-3 years. Lipoma is not at all
हाँ.
condition which will going to settle so fast. It is generally it is not specifically disease. It is only a constitutional
Okay.
change. If you want to treat it for
Okay.
cosmetic
हाँ.
purpose, patient should
Yes,
take
yes,
a
yes.
long time treatment. They should be
Yes.
ready for that.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay.
Okay, 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 okay.
Sir,
Okay, sir.
for
Thank you
this
so much.
purpose, LM potency should be used or centesimal the same.
थोड़ा सा जोरात, I'm not getting your voice clear.
Sir, for this we should use LM potency or this thing centimism.
For what purpose?
Lipoma. We have to treat for long
Lipoma,
time, no, sir.
no, lipoma you will require the centesimal generally in low potency to start with, and gradually you have to go on increasing the potency. Gradually you go on increasing. It is a constitutional problem. So whenever you have to treat the constitutional, then you have to start with low and gradually you have to go on increasing the potency. That is the method which you have to follow over there.
Okay, sir. Okay.
There was one
Thank you very much.
question, difference between Varata child and
Sir,
before
for
child.
LM potency,
Huh?
हा सर सर मग LM potency यूज नाही करू शकत का? LM potency जर स्टार्ट केलं तर 0 बार 1
Not
0 बार 2.
not generally we have, whenever the constitutional problems are there, they never yields to the mild potencies. It requires a stimulation
Okay.
more at more deeper level.
Okay.
Difference between Barata child and Bufo child,
Okay, sir.
very close to each other.
Thank you.
Barata Cab and Bufo child, you have many features very similar, but in Barata the shyness and timidity is more marked. That is very typical with Barata. They are very shy. They comes to you and they hide their faces, even never looks directly towards you or keep their head down completely. That was very marked than the Bufo. Second important system is important thing is that Barata child, the nervous system affections associated are comparatively much less as compared to the Bufo child. No, they are very nervous in Bufo. Barata because of carbon they are very slow. So Bufo they are restless. Barata carb they are very slow because of carbon element. That is the big difference with which you can catch it easily. And because of carbon, they are little bit chubby in Barata carb, not in Bufo. There is no specific remedy for Xantharusma. You have to find it out, a remedy for the patient. No specific remedy. So that's all for today. We'll meet again most probably tomorrow. Thank you and good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.